Red alert on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of cryptocurrency. It's been a while since I made a video. I'm finally back in Dubai. All the AvaDex business in the US is concluded, so I just arrived yesterday. And it's very important for you guys to watch this video till the end because there has been a lot of things that has happened in the last few days that you must be aware of so that you position yourself correctly when it comes to the crypto market and just the market in general. So without any further ado, we'll go over the news first, then I'll show you my trades, my setups, and my expectations from the market. So let's get into this because today's going to be a very important day. Something very important is happening today. So before I come back to the chart, before I show you all the technicals and what my expectations are, let's quickly go over the news that have happened because there is a lot of stuff. As you might remember, one of the primary reasons why we had this big correction right now was because of Trump's tariffs. But guess what? White House has confirmed that 130 countries are now negotiating trade deals with the United States. So there are still a few ones in question: Canada, Mexico, and also certainly China. China right now has crazy amount of tariffs. But I think that it's also going to come to the end because 130 countries already have realized that, listen, you know what, let's just stop this, let's make a deal. So therefore, what I'm trying to point out here is that most likely this trade war stuff is more or less priced in at this point. But this is going to be only one piece of the puzzle we'll get to at the end of the video. So that's why I always watch my videos from the beginning and until the end. Second piece in news: Trump's desire and possibility, Trump's crypto curveball to use tariff revenue to purchase Bitcoin. So you can find this full article online and read all the details. But the main idea here is that Trump wants to use the money received by the United States government in a way of tariffs to purchase Bitcoin. So this kind of paints the picture of what could be happening next in a long-term perspective because the United States and Trump's administration, they're very serious about crypto to the point of actually using tariff money to purchase more Bitcoin, which is pretty insane if you ask me. Now, the next piece of news, which is going to be even crazier, and the next news is going to be crazier and crazier and crazier. So Boston Federal Reserve President came out and said that the Federal Reserve is absolutely, and the key word here is absolutely, ready to help stabilize the markets if actually needed. So this is pretty good, right? Because they are actually ready to start printing money, is what we want. We want quantitative easing. We want this bullshit quantitative tightening out of the way for them to stop selling the assets of their balance sheet, as they already said that they're reducing it, and then finally printing money. This money is going to end up where? Mostly in crypto, for sure, because it is in a risk-on environment. This is going to be the industry that gives you the craziest return possible. And for this reason, guys, I've decided to put together a group of people that I will be in a chat with. I'm going to leave a link to this group down in the description of this video. If you're serious about using this opportunity in the market that just presented itself and not sit on the sidelines like usual, go down in the description of this video, join my free group, and this is where we're going to be discussing serious stuff and my change of plans when it comes to my financial foundation and my capital allocation to actually multiply my capital in the next 12 months. If you want to become part of this group and do it all together with us, join in, link down in the description in this video. Next piece of news is also about Fed, but what they also added when they were speaking is that says that if the data is as expected, it's appropriate to soon begin easing, quantitative easing, so money printing and money flowing into the market. This is one last piece that we need for huge explosive continuation of the bull market. And right now the Fed is actually signaling that it's actually around the corner, which is pretty much insane, to be honest, at this point. Next piece of news. This is what is also very important, and it kind of is fueling this narrative that I was just describing, that PPI inflation came in much cooler than expected, 2.7 versus 3.3 estimated, and core 3.3 versus 3.6 estimated. You can believe in these numbers, you can think they're fake, whatever, but this here just shows how resilient and how strong the economy is. And this is something that, you know, with time is going to warrant that they can finally reduce the interest rates, inflation is going down, we're strong, we can start printing money again, and booyah, off we go. Now, next piece, what is of utmost importance for today, is at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Powell will be addressing the inflation data and will be giving the just general market outlook. So therefore expect massive volatility, and maybe we'll find out finally what Fed is planning to do in a near short-term perspective, and possibly God damn it, Powell, tell us something good, because if he does, I'll show you exactly how the price of Bitcoin could react to what he could actually say. So now this brings me to the chart. Before I give you my trades, I show you my trades. Actually, you know what? First, let me show you the trades. So the trade is still the same. Solana, just one tiny bit small, just ridiculous small trade. Nonetheless, small profit on it. I've put the stop loss into no loss, so no risk. But at this point, this is the only trade, active trade. My swing trades are still there on a separate account. My spot trades, all of it is still there. I'm just showing you my active trades here in this video. What is important to understand right now, technically, and what I'm expecting. So fundamentally, news-wise, the tariffs-wise, Fed-wise, everything is spelling to us that right now maybe a certain portion of the time for consolidation, for accumulation, but overall right now is the time to be in the market. That's why I'm saying join this group, which you can find a link to down in the description of this video, because this is going to be the group that is going to really do very well in this market, in my personal humble opinion. So, and it's a place to be. So if we actually put on all the drawings, this is, and the technical analysis, what my expectation is currently, despite this everything I've just mentioned, despite how great the outlook is starting to become, and this slow but actual very powerful shift in narrative, I'm not expecting, a straight up line to 100K, even though it could possibly happen, because we have this ultimate super important resistance that we're trying to break right here. So if we break this, stabilize above, maybe retest this level, the first target would be 90K, and then possibly 100 or even more, just technically. But for the time being, understanding that the market is very fearful, that there is still the question with tariffs with China, Mexico, Canada, and the rest of the world for that matter, So there are still so many things that could really put a stick into the wheel of our bicycle and make us not enjoy our life anymore. So for this reason, my zone of interest for any opening of any trades for that matter is going to be about 78,000 per Bitcoin or a bit lower. So this order block right here. When it comes to Ethereum though, what interests me the most is the level of 1400, and so this is the level that I would think that if this whole narrative and this whole concept is correct, for us to consolidate a little bit until Fed really announces that we actually are going into quantitative easing, and this is when we actually go retest the level of 2K again, 2500, and then off we go. So when it comes to Solana, for example, my order block that really interests me is about $110 right here. So we are in the vicinity possibly of accumulation, and it's time to start paying attention to the market and pay attention to what Powell says today at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, and join our group for absolutely free to actually understand what is happening and to get some deeper insights that I'm not sharing here on YouTube. And remember that I'm trading over on Bybit, and there is actually a very important bonus for our community from Bybit. So thanks to Bybit. Link down in the description of this video to sign up with Bybit so you can trade there as well, and you can claim up to $30,000 in initial deposit bonuses and up to 42% discount on trading fees. And I'll see you in the group. Link down in the description. See you then.